Hello and welcome to a Chip Off the Old Block Toys. This is Jeff here, and today I'm going to attempt to build and also attempt to entertain while I build set number, let's see, 910035. This is the logging railway. This is the only set that I purchased out of the Bricklink Designer Program-Series 2. The Series 1 I purchased all, and we built them all on the camera. This one is number 2, and it's not that I didn't like the other sets. One of them was a train station. I already have a former Bricklink Designer train station. It's called Studgate or something like that. And I built that one on the live stream as well. So I didn't really want to buy it because funds were limited. And you got to remember, you order these way in advance, months in advance, and then you get them. And when the Series 2 came out, that was right when I got laid off from my job. So I was being really tight with my money. So I only purchased one, and that's that one right there. What we're going to go ahead and do, I do admit my camera's broken, so I'm just going to have to kind of close the little laptop so you guys can see what's going on right here. I do have two screens, so I will be able to see the comments this time. So let's go ahead and let's do that. And by the way, I want to say thank you for sharing your Saturday afternoon with me, or if you're watching this on the replay, watching this any other time. It's always appreciated. And don't forget that these videos, they always come Enzo approved. And speaking of him, he's laying over here on the floor, and he's been pretty good. You guys have probably noticed, actually, I know several of you have, because several of you have reached out to me and asked where I've been, because for the last couple months, about the last 3 months, I have not been anywhere. And, well, I'm not really at liberty to say, but I can say this. Life has dealt me a bunch of curveballs. Not appreciated, but it does happen in life. You can't control that. And I have spent some time going on a very long journey and learning a lot of things about myself and life in general. And maybe if the time comes that I feel comfortable enough, I will reveal what's going on. But for right now, I'm not comfortable. So it's enough for me to say that there's been a lot of changes. And I will perhaps talk more about the results of the things that have happened and how I'm going to make my personal life a lot better. One thing is weight loss. I'm just tired of being as big as I am, and it's unhealthy, and it's just no need for it. So that is one of the first things that I'm going to do, is focus on some weight loss. And as part of that, every time I do a live stream, I've come up with this new thing that I did, and I'm going to show you here. Let's go over to this. Okay. Let's go to present, share screen. Where is that at? Oh, I think that's it right here. Oh, there it is. Sorry, I don't do this very often. So, okay. So here we have my weight. And I started this yesterday because this is, like I said, this has been a journey, and it's something I come up with. And I was at 259, which is kind of a lot. Well, not kind of. It is a lot. It's too much. And so yesterday, I was driving home from Texas, actually. I only got home about midnight. And if you don't know, I live in Idaho. So that's 1,400. About 1,400 miles. And it's really hard to eat right when you're on the go, especially when there's not that many people around, not many gas stations. In fact, a significant portion of my trip through there goes through Indian reservations, which there are very few gas stations, very few anything. So anyway, one thing I did was I did stop at a Walmart. There was one there in Albuquerque, and picked me up a bag of baby carrots and went ahead and did that. And that was my main snack on the way home. I didn't eat much of anything. Mostly, I did stop at a Subway. Anyway, long story short, I was trying to eat healthier, and I was able to lose a pound yesterday while sitting. And Yeah, the BMI is the body mass index, and yes, it's way too high. My target goal is 170 pounds. That means I have almost 90 pounds to go. And BMI, yeah, same thing. I want to do 24.4, and I've got 12% body fat to lose. And actually, this right here is not correct because I did not. There we go. So you can see here, because it's only one day, it's gone down and down. And I'll go ahead and I'll stop sharing that. We'll get back to building. There is one thing that I did forget to do, so let me go ahead and do that. So whether you are watching this now or on the replay, I'd appreciate a hit on that like button. That always helps out. And also, if you're watching us on the replay, drop me a comment. Let me know what you think of this set, and let me know what you think of my not so serious commentary most of the time. I appreciate all of that. And let's see. Oh, I got some good news. For those who've been following the channel, you know that I tried out to be an electrician apprentice, and it only lasted one day because the guy was driving 100 miles an hour down a canyon, which scared the crap out of me. And also he was smoking marijuana right before he did that, so I didn't like that. Hey, John, how's it going? Anyway, the guy was supposed to pay me. And I mean, I did this back in July. So this is 4 months ago. The guy's never paid me. And I worked a very long day that day. Anyway, I ended up filing a complaint with the Utah. You know what? Let me just grab a paper because I'm not doing very well here. Let's see. The Utah Wage Commission. Okay. State of Utah Labor Commission and the Wage Claim Unit. So anyway, I got a letter in the mail recently that says that he owes me the money and they ordered him to pay it. So that is a good first step. Of course, the guy didn't even have the courtesy to respond to the complaint. I didn't think he would. And I'm really glad I'm not working for him because I'm not going to work for somebody I have to beg to get paid from. So anyway, John, how's your day going? So that graph that I showed you earlier, I will try to update it every day. And like I said, each live stream will discuss the progress. And I do want you guys to hold me accountable because I just really need to take care of it. Not bad. Sleeping a lot. Awesome, dude. Actually, I did too. I slept 8.5 hours last night. Of course, I drove from Texas to Idaho yesterday. Actually, it took me a day and a half. And oh my goodness, I don't ever want to do that again. It's not that I'm trying to complain, but if you've ever driven that, it is just forever. And I have, that's one of the things I wanted to tell you guys. I'm so excited about this. So I've been doing Lego shows off and on, mostly on, for the last couple years. And I ran out of space, which I haven't been able to expand certain of my creations because I have no room to bring it to shows. My truck was full. Well, I finally was able to get a Interstate Victory covered or cargo trailer, and it's 7 by 14 foot. And I got it, and it specifically, well, it's not specifically, but I did ask them specifically about the performance of my F-150 to see if it could handle it. And they said they looked at the specs, said it should be fine. I've purchased it, and I've hauled that trailer to Texas and back twice now. And I can tell you that the F-150 handles beautifully and no issues whatsoever when it comes to that. So something's wrong here. I didn't do this right, did I? No, I did not. Okay, well, I always do that when I'm talking, so let me fix that. So it's a white trailer. It's, actually, I think I have a picture of it. Let me pull that up here real quick. I just have to make sure my license plate's not in the picture because I'm not wanting to share that. Did I delete it? Yeah, it looks like I deleted it, guys, the picture. Well, dang it. I wanted to show it to you, but okay. Not going to happen. Not cool, but whatever. That's well, I kind of have a picture of it. It's not a good picture of it. Here's what I got. Okay, so there we have it. That's inside my shop. Yes, it does fit inside my shop. I'm very proud of that. Oh shoot, my dad called me just now. Well, let me call him real quick. I'm not gonna call him. I'll text him real quick and see what he says. Okay, so I responded to that. Okay, so anyway, yes, this is I'm able to fit this inside the shop, which I do need to clean it because it's been to Texas and back through snow, all that good stuff. I'm going to go ahead and take it to a car wash, do the manual car wash, and then I'm going to stick it inside the shop and keep it parked in the shop. It'll last a lot longer, less rust, less wear and tear on it, no sun beating down on the roof, causing cracks, that kind of stuff. So that's the plan there. But anyway, I do have that trailer, and it's going to make shows a lot better. And I'll be able to fit a lot more. So I'm looking forward to that because I need to work on the Grand Line Hotel. That is one of the reasons that I have not been working on it, is that I just plain and simple do not have the capability of working on it because I don't have a place to put it when it's done. Okay, I did something wrong here, and I'm not really surprised. What did I do? Oh, shoot. It's like I did the whole thing wrong. Okay. Yeah, I don't mean to make a mess out of this, but it looks like I already am making a mess out of it. But yeah, so I got that trailer. It did set me back a little bit, but Bricklink money paid for it. So thank you guys for those who've put forth your orders. I always appreciate it, and it does go to a good cause. Unfortunately, I spent the last 3 months of my life getting ready to move to Texas, only to find out that I am not moving to Texas. The good news is I made 6 trips to Texas, and yes, that may seem like a huge waste, and it kind of was. However, the good news about that is that everything of mine is back here in Idaho. So I just have to unpack, and but it does give me a chance to reorganize things because, well, that's exactly what I wanted to do. So my sets were very disorganized. My stuff was very disorganized. I wasn't putting the time into it. And now that I've packed it all up and I have to unpack it, there's no excuse for not reorganizing things the way I want. And as part of that, Spencer and I have been experimenting. So here you go. You guys know I like the Acro Mills drawers, right? So, oh, thanks, Bricks. I appreciate that. Yeah, I've been absent for a few months, and it's been a rough ride, but we'll we'll get to that slowly as time progresses. The Acro mills, I really like them. The only problem is Acro mills only comes with like 8 of these dividers for 64 drawers that they sell you. So obviously you need to buy more, right? Well, you go on the internet and you go on Amazon. You can buy a pack of 16, but it costs $10.97. So there's 68 cents a piece for this one right here, right? And I mean, don't get me wrong, they fit great, and they are a great product. They're just really expensive, 68 cents. Well, Spencer likes to do, my son Spencer likes to do 3D printing. And so Spencer and I bought him the software. So what we did was we went online, and this is my version of it, and this is their professional version. They're, I mean, mine, you could tell it's, but, hey, let me show you something. It may not be as snazzy, but it works just fine. And my version cost me 4 cents a piece. So I'm not paying 68 cents anymore for these. And, it's always nice to save a few dollars. And now that I could print these on my own, I don't have to wait for them to come in the mail. Printing, I think it's 32 at a time. It only takes an hour and 30 minutes. So it's not that long to do it either. So I'm really looking forward to just like knocking that one out of the park and just keep printing those out as needed. Spencer says I should sell them on Etsy or something because there's other people that sell them on Etsy and Amazon. I'm considering it. I don't know if I'm going to or not, but I'm kind of thinking about it because I could always use an extra revenue stream to help keep the channel going and add to the collection. So if I do actually decide to do it, trust me, I will let you guys know, give you a link, all that stuff, because I know that the Acro Mills is a very popular storage system for Lego collectors. So why not, right? And let's see. John says, woo, yeah, it is. Yeah, I was getting worried about him recovering from surgery, but all is good. Yeah, John, I'm glad to hear that the surgery was successful and that things are going well for you. I won't reveal what it is, but yeah, John and I have been in contact off screen. I will say that I've noticed a noticeable absence from a good friend of mine, Greg. He's not on social media anymore, as far as I can tell, and he just disappeared. And I really, I think Greg's a great guy, and I'm bothered by that. I have his personal address because I've mailed him stuff before, and so I looked it up today. I'm going to send him a letter real quick. I know he was planning on moving, but I'm hoping that I can get a hold of him otherwise and let him know that, hey, been thinking about you. Give him my phone number and see if he'll reach back out at me because I'd like to stay in contact with him. We didn't have a falling out or anything, so it's not related to him like being mad at me or anything. In fact, we were mid-conversation one day, and I was out with my son Spencer getting something to eat, and he reached out to me and said, hey, what you doing? And, Greg likes to eat, go out to eat because we always talk about going to different restaurants. And mid-conversation, all of a sudden it said, this person's not available on Messenger anymore. So I'm not really sure what happened. And then my wife was friends with him on Facebook too, and he disappeared. And I reached out to a couple other people that are friends with him, and he's just not on social media anymore. I don't know what happened. So I'm hoping to reconnect with him though. Certainly going to try. And Greg was my co-host on here a lot of times, so I do feel his loss a lot. I think he's a great person, and in fact, I mentioned this before. There was one person in particular that came on here one time and was rude and was making fun of Greg, and I no longer invited them to anything on my channel because I don't let people do that to other people. It ain't right. So let's see here. We're still on bag one. I do have some ideas for co-host, by the way. Let's see. My dad got back to me. Oh, my dad called back. Let me listen to the voicemail real quick. Sorry, guys. Shoot, I dialed his number. Crap, I'm trying to listen to the voicemail. Why is the voicemail doing that? Sorry, guys. My dad doesn't call very often, and I'm just really concerned that something is wrong. Stop it. Oh my gosh, this phone's so annoying. It dials him, not the voicemail.
Hey, old man, how you doing? Just wondering if you brought back my case from Texas. Let me know. Otherwise, I'm gonna have to go buy one. For now.
Shoot. No, it's not important. He was just trying to catch up with me because he knows I'm going to Texas and back. So anyway, I'll call him later and settle things out with him, let him know how things are going. We don't have any shows for a while. I think our next show is in March as a club. And if you didn't catch the news, I'll reshare it. The lug that I belong to is now an officially recognized lug. We weren't for the longest time. Now we are, which means we get support from Lego, which really does help. And also, we'll probably have more shows as well. Anyway, our next show is in March, so it's a bit off. A couple of our shows just that we normally went to, for some reason, they can't do them. So they're not happening, but that's okay. My collection's in shambles, so I need the time to get stuff back together anyway. So it's all good. Depending on time, I don't mind stepping in for a few hours. Don't worry. Yeah. Yeah, and you know something, Bricks? He has been, but as far as Facebook and Instagram, he is no longer in existence. Maybe he still kept his YouTube account. But I am worried about him because I do think Greg and I have been close. I mean, like I've given him a few Lego sets just for the heck of it. I show my appreciation for what he's done for me and that kind of stuff. So just to have him disappear is just kind of weird. But yeah, you know what? I could take a look. And yeah, he also who's the other guy? There's another guy I watched that he's on there a lot too. Anyway, I'll take a look at some of their recent streams and see if I can't see him because, like I said, I don't want to lose contact with him. He's a good person. So, well, let's see. Oh, you guys know. Hey, Steve, how's it going? You guys know that I've made fun of Harbor Freight's jack stands because they got recalled. Well, I've got one for you here. Let me pull it up here. Oh shoot, no, come on. My computer's always doing the exact opposite. Anyway, I thought this was funny, so let's do this here. Okay, so I saw this meme here. It ain't right, but I thought it was funny. And Steve, if you're available, let me know. I'll send you a link. But yeah, also let me know. Would you guys be interested in buying these dividers for acro mills if you have them? Because I'm not going to charge no 68 cents a piece. It's going to be considerably less. And I was thinking about doing some like tiered pricing where, you know, if you buy, you know, just a few, well, they're a little more expensive, but nobody seems to go above 32. I was thinking about doing maybe like a 50 pack, or maybe even 100 and do it. So anyway, yeah, Acro Mills is the black drawers that if you look at my monthly, semi-monthly, or I'm sorry, it was bi-monthly. Getting all mixed up. My bi-monthly videos of my Lego collection tour, you can see that wall of black cabinets. Those are the Acro Mills. So anyway, and like I said, when you buy them, they only come with 8 of these dividers, and there's 64 drawers in each one of the cabinets. So you need a lot more than what they're giving you, and since they're so expensive, otherwise, I was thinking, like I said, just doing them and maybe offering a little bit cheaper of a price. Mine aren't as fancy as some of the other ones out there. Of course, this was my first round at using the software to create something. I'm not too familiar with 3D printing, so I'm quite proud of myself that I was able to get that far. And so just one of those things that I'm trying to do on my journey here of making life a little bit different for myself by trying to explore new avenues, do new things, and all that good stuff. So I will say, in my travels to Texas, have you guys been to Texas, first of all? And you're probably going to ask, well, that's a broad subject. Yes, it is. Texas is huge, and huge, as some people say, but it's huge. And, out of a 21-hour drive, almost 8 hours of it is in Texas, from Idaho to there. So yes, there's a lot of things. The first thing I like to do is if you go on Highway 80 and you go through Wyoming, you go, 84. There's this thing called Devil's Slide, and it's a rock formation that kind of looks like a slide, and it's really cool because it's a double thing, and it just goes down the side of the whole entire mountain, and it's jagged and kind of looks like shark's teeth a little bit. Really cool. Anyways, there's that, and that's always a good thing to look at. Okay, somebody just pulled up to my house. Okay, I'm interested. I got cameras. I can see it. It's kind of weird because where I live, no one ever comes back here unless they're invited. So this could be interesting, guys. No, I'm just kidding. Okay, so we have this left over. It's kind of weird. They gave me a couple pieces that I don't think would be left over. Let's see. So there's that, the Devil's Slide. And then when you get into New Mexico, you go to Colorado next. And you're not in Colorado for very long. You just go through the bottom corner of it. And there's the Four Corners Monument where the 4 states come together. And I did not go to that. It seems like I have the worst timing. It seems like all the 6 times I've gone through there has been the times that it's been closed. So I have not been able to go. However, you go a little further and you hit Chimney Rock. If you guys have never seen Chimney Rock, it's a beautiful, beautiful rock formation. In fact, let me see if I can pull up a picture of it. No, not Chimney Rock, a village in North Carolina. There we go. Let's see if we can. So this Chimney Rock, why is it not? I'm sorry, my computer is being really just weird. Okay. So this thing right here, it's very beautiful, and so you see this picture here. Okay. So this doesn't do it justice. The top of this right here is actually level with this. It's just the angle that's taken. And this plateau used to be all over here, but wind and rain eroded it and left it all by itself. And it just kind of shoots up. And so it's really beautiful. And the highway goes right next to it. And I mean, right next to it. The highway's probably right here. It's only a couple hundred yards off the road. Really cool stuff. And then we've got this other one, and this one, Shiprock. This one is menacing looking. Now, it's not too bad here because it's dry, But if you ever see it when it gets wet, it turns very dark, and it just looks really menacing. And this one, you can't. There is a parking lot kind of close to it, but you can't actually go to it. It's considered sacred by the tribes, and this is on an Indian reservation. So you can go to the parking lot, but you can't go any further, and you can't climb it. You can't. But it's very beautiful, and I was surprised. I did my research. It's actually a leftover from a volcano. It used to be an active volcano. It's been dormant for such a long time now, and I wished it would show the formation, but there's actually a lava tube thing that goes for miles. But anyway, really cool stuff that you can see on the way there. Let me go back to my instructions here. So anyway, my travels I've seen a lot of good things. There's a lot of good things in Texas too. I didn't have time, but I want to go see the George Bush Presidential Library. It's not too far off the beaten path of where I was going. I did not go see it, like I said, for a lack of time, but hopefully I can some other time go down there and see that kind of stuff. So it looks like we're building the roof of the train now. John says he's been to San Antonio, Houston, and Dallas. Well, awesome, man. That's awesome. Okay, is this the little flower? Yeah, it is. Okay. I doubt I'm going to do this. Actually, I can tell you right now, I'm not going to do this all in one setting. But I also should have some time tomorrow to do this. And not to worry when it comes to sets. I've got plenty lined up. In fact, let me show you an upcoming set that we can do here. And if you're my age, you definitely know the movie Jaws. And here we go. This came in a few weeks ago. Like I said, I haven't been doing live streams, but here we are. We're going to go ahead and do that. And also this. I saw this in my travels. So anyway. Oh, Steve's got the Jaws set. That's cool. Anyway, there we go. And this is it actually has a I just mentioned President Bush. Well, here is a picture of Barbara Bush playing with Legos on a Head Start program in 1990. Anyway, really interesting stuff. I haven't read the whole entire thing yet, but I need to. And I think that's still available. I got my copy at Target. Well, I'm interested in collaborating with Steve or anybody else who has a Lego channel. Well, I can't say anybody else because there's a few people I won't collaborate with, but I don't mention names and that kind of stuff. You might know who it is, though. If you do, please keep it to yourself. I'm not trying to start anything. I had to bring my heater back in here. My goodness, I didn't think I was going to need my heater. I brought it to Texas, and then through sticking around here, I realized, oh my gosh, it gets cold real quick. We did not have any sort of fall around here. It just went from summer straight to winter, and I kid you not, because I remember it was still getting up in the 70s and 80s, and it was hot in the shop, and I was working out there trying to get everything ready to go to Texas, and wham, out of nowhere, and I mean literally out of nowhere, it just started to be in the 40s, and now it's in the 20s. Sometimes it's in the 30s, but mostly 20s and 30s. So getting that back was very important to me. And this does not show, this does not do it justice. But you know what? I'm going to trust the process. And the process is called instructions. 81 degrees here. Yeah. When I was in Texas, I was just there. Like I said, I just came back yesterday, and my goodness, man, I'm gonna tell you, that's brutal. It was like in the 80s there too, still, and it was humid as ever. And no, Mr. Chip and humidity just don't get along. We just don't. So anyway, that was interesting. In fact, I think after the stream, I'm going to go out. I don't think so. I'm telling you right now what I'm going to do. Right after the stream, I'm going to go out to the shop, grab some of the boxes that I organized those Acro Mills drawers into, and I'm going to do some work on them because, like I said, my stuff's so disorganized right now. I really need to. I really need to put some time into that. And I want to share something with you guys. I don't want to like fully reveal everything, but just because I think a lot of us, especially in today's day and age, we get hit with gaslighting a lot and being lied to, basically. And we're even made to feel guilty when we call the other person out on it. And I want to share my experience with you. The old saying is, if it walks like a duck, if it quacks like a duck, it probably is a duck. And I'm going to tell you, from my experience, it is a duck. And don't feel guilty about feeling a certain way because, I had some, I don't know if you want to call them premonitions because that's kind of too strong. I had some thoughts that things were not what I thought they were. And I confronted somebody about it. And I got, oh, no, that's not happening. No, you know what you're talking about. Oh, no, you're just trying to control me. You're this, that, the other. And that's really, I heard a bunch of things and it was me, you. And only to find out later on that things were exactly what I thought they were. So, and especially if the person that you're dealing with is not trustworthy to begin with, I'm sorry, I'm not going to feel bad for calling that person out. It's very frustrating to be lied to and to be told things, and your stomach, your gut's telling you one thing, but you just you know what's up, you know what's going on. Stick with your gut, man. It'll save you a lot of heartache. I'll tell you that right now. And yes, John, I agree. This is a time to do a lot of reflecting, and I'm going to be doing a ton of reflecting. And I've done a lot that drive from Texas to Idaho. I've made it 6 times in the last 2 months. So I've spent very little time home. My neighbor has been, and her husband have been just absolutely freaking awesome. They come over and fed my animals for me. So anyway, they've done a lot for me while I've been gone. And yeah, I've done a lot. I mean, when you're driving 20 hours each way, which actually it was more than that because when you pull a trailer, I can only go about 65 instead of 80 speed limit. So anyway, during that long drive, did a lot of reflecting, and I feel like I'm a lot better for the reflections that I've done. And I've been honest with myself. Not everything is one-sided, and I have some blame, not much, but I do have some blame in the situation. So I'm just thinking it through and seeing what can be done to avoid things in the future. and have a much better future and not get my foot caught in any more of these traps. Oh, Enzo just about died yesterday. So I brought the Avengers Tower to Texas. And when I brought it back, the truck was rather full, so I had it in the back seat. Enzo insisted on sitting in the back seat. Not a problem because the Avengers Tower, the way it sits, only takes up one of the 3 seats back there. He has sat back there with it before, never been a problem. This time it was a problem. He leaned up against it, and I could hear, as I'm driving down the road, I kept hearing the pieces stress. And so I turned around and I told him to knock it off. Believe me, this dog knows what it means when I tell him to knock something off. Well, instead of knocking it off, he decides to climb on top of the Avengers Tower. Therefore, it is completely demolished. And because I rolled in at midnight last night, it is just sitting in the back of my truck, still demolished. And it's not going to get any better right now. I'm going to have to very slowly go through my truck and pull everything out and grab the pieces. The problem is it's a custom build. And when it's a custom build, you literally, there's no instructions. I am going to have to look at my videos and see if I can glean from them how I built it so I can rebuild it. And there's going to be, even though it's been a long delay since I've done an update on the Avengers Tower, it's going to be a lot longer because now I've got to reconstruct the dang stupid thing. So anyway, gotta love dogs for that. All right, so we got the engine almost done. There are a lot of good Lego sets coming out here in the next little bit. There's going to be the yearly modular coming out here soon. And I don't care if I got to skip 20 meals to pay for that thing. I'm buying it. I purchased every single modular since its inception, the Cafe Corner, so I'm not about ready to miss one. I've heard some rumors on what it's going to be, but I don't think they've officially announced it. So because it's not officially announced, I'm not going to divulge in those rumors. I do hope that at some point they do come out with a school or a post office or a hospital. I don't know. I would like to see them do a lot more modulars. I do appreciate the fact they only do it once a year because they're so expensive. It's hard to keep up. And if they did them more than once a year, I don't think I'd be able to keep up with it. And then, of course, I wouldn't have a full set. And so I'm grateful that they don't. Okay, wait a minute. Oh, okay. I'm looking at this and it wasn't making any sense. So there's the X-Men Mansion. I think that one's actually already out, but it's been announced officially. That one I want to get, but it's 500 smackers. So I'm not really sure I'm going to get that because that's a lot of money for me right now. I do have a job interview, and that's on Monday or Tuesday, excuse me. Okay. That makes no sense whatsoever. Yeah, it does, because I put the wrong piece here. Okay. I do have a job interview on Tuesday. And it's with the IRS. I went to a job fair with them back in March. And, well, I don't know. They just took forever to get back to me. But they did. They got back to me. So I have an interview on Tuesday. I'm really hoping that works out. That would be really nice to work there. It would allow me to use some of my skills that I used at the hospital when I worked there. And also, I understand that the pay is rather good. So hopefully, I'll let you guys know how that goes. And it is gonna be, oh boy. See, it's saying, oh, okay, well, the first couple months working there is not going to be very fun, because you have to work in the office, and I work an hour, and I live an hour and 20 minutes from the office, which means obviously I would have to not do much in the way of YouTube or much of anything else for that matter. And it takes, I hear, about 7 months to become, I guess, certified or whatever to work from home. And then once you do that, you only have to go in like once a week or once every 2 weeks, depending on the team you're on. So, I'm hoping that will happen, that I get that job. And even though it slows things down for a little bit, I think it'll be worth it. And in the end, I think I'll enjoy working there and having that kind of a job. And why is it that, oh, they want me to use, see, I'm not paying attention. Okay, they want the black one. You need a boost. I'm ready to quit my job. Yeah, I need the boost. I would love to work there. Really, I would. I think there's a lot that I can learn while working there. And so, and, plus the fact that there's a lot that can be done there, so you can move around too. You're not stuck in one position. I hear at the IRS that once you're in a position for a year, you are eligible to apply for other positions. So, shoot, my dad's calling me back. But I know from his message that it's not urgent, so I will call him back when I can. Get yourself a fan EV. What does that mean, John? I don't really know. Oh, get yourself a Tesla. Okay. Well, I think I would like to, if I could afford one. I know they're rather expensive, though. That's a lot of Lego. That's a lot of dividers to get that money. But I do need to get something, because driving my truck every day is not going to be practical. An hour and 20 minutes. I'm going to end up burning 90% of my paycheck just in gas. So, all right. So moving on to bag number 3, and we've got pieces that don't normally They don't normally leave as extras, so let me. Okay. So that's bags 1 and 2. And we have the engine part done. And it looks like this is going to be a car bag number 3. So let's go ahead and start that. I'm going to set the thing aside here. So yeah, I'm not sure. Like I said, I usually have the second camera going, but for whatever reason, it doesn't want to work anymore. And I don't know if it's the camera, the cord. Haven't really had time to look into it. And I'll be honest too, it's not my area of expertise. But I think I'll start with the cord and buy a new cord and hope that that's it, because the cord is only like $20. The cameras, oh my gosh. My YouTube camera was like $800, $900. So let's just hope it's not the camera that went out. Let's just hope it's the cord. And for those who are joining me, thank you. Please hit the like button. I always appreciate that. Leave me a comment. Let me know what you think of the set. That kind of thing. I'd love to hear from you. Okay. And maybe I should put a warning for adult humor, because I don't know. I like telling my jokes. Oh, gosh. Okay. Did you guys hear why Popeye punched the Pope? He did it because he went to go Mount Olive. And not that I want to get too philosophical on you guys, but what I was saying earlier about trusting your gut when it comes to people, I think there's a sixth sense that we all have. I really do. And if, I've worked with certain people before that for whatever reason, I've just felt like they're not to be trusted. I didn't feel safe around them. And yeah, I'll give you an example. When I worked at Rena Center, this guy came into my store and he was sweating profusely, but okay, it was Ohio. It was July. It was very hot, very humid. And he didn't like rush into the store. He just came in and sat on the couch, started talking to me. And he was out of view of the front window. I didn't catch at the time what was going on. All I knew is I had a feeling that this guy was bad news. And I admit the hairs on the back of my head stood up a little bit. And my spidey senses were telling me something was wrong. And I really didn't know what to do. So I followed my gut. My gut told me to be nice to the guy. And I was nice to the guy. I offered him a bottle of water. He accepted. I offered him some paper towels because he was sweating profusely. And when I wasn't paying attention, he left out the back door, but he left. A few minutes later, a couple sheriff's deputies showed up and they wanted to know if I'd seen this guy. And I had seen the guy. And in fact, the guy just got through robbing a bank, and they wanted to know where he sat, if he dumped the weapon. And yes, the guy had left the gun behind. And, you know, it's situations like that, it's things like that where I'm just trying to tell you that if you feel a certain way, I mean, you don't have to be belligerent about it and call the person out. You know, it wouldn't have been safe to in my case, for instance, but to trust your gut and to know that you should, you know, maybe, like I said, I treated the guy with a lot of respect, and I'm sure the heck glad I did, because that situation could have gone completely otherwise if he would have thought anything or felt anything at all hostile from me. And, well, I like living, so I'm glad it turned out the way it did. So if you haven't noticed, I have noticed, this is built in the same amount and almost colors, same size and same, sorry, I said that wrong. This is built to the same specs almost as a battery case to a train. And I think they did that on purpose so that if you want to come back later and replace it with the battery pack from an actual train, you can do that. And I'll bet you I'll find that at the end of the instructions. I have not peeked ahead. I have not looked. So I really don't know. That's just an educated or uneducated guess, however you look at it. I think it's educated, but some might argue that it's not. And if you guys know me, you know that I really like Lego trains. In fact, I really, really like Lego trains, to the point where I try to get every single one that I can. The last train that I got for this, the Harry Potter train, I only got it because I didn't have the money, but the Lego store had one that the box was damaged, and they were giving, I don't remember, I think it was the equivalent of $25 in points or something. So it was $25 off. And when I see deals like that, I snatch them up, because you just never know if or when you're going to see it again. And that's how I try to get a lot of my Lego. In fact, I failed to mention this, and I was planning on mentioning it on my travels. One cool thing is that I was able to stop at different Walmarts and Targets along the way. And as I was able to do that, I was able to go to a variety of stores, and they each have different sales and things on clearance. And I was able to pick up about 30 Lego sets that are all that were all on sale. And so we've got plenty of stuff to do content here, plenty of live stream material, plenty of reviews to do, that kind of stuff. So hopefully you guys will tune in for all that, and we can have a good time together while we build this stuff and talk about all kinds of stuff. And by the way, I'm willing to talk about just about anything. And in fact, if you guys want to suggest a theme for the next live stream, I'm fine with that. I don't even care if it's political. I just care that you're respectful when you do talk about your positions, and because I don't want to hear things like, oh, because the other guy doesn't agree with me, he's an idiot, or he's a demon, or, you know, whatever. People are not demons because they don't agree with you. In fact, a lot of people don't agree with me in real life. And, well, if it's serious enough, I just don't have anything to do with them. Most of the time, it's just a matter of, okay, whatever, so we don't agree. And I hope that would be the prevailing attitude, instead of, or be able to back your position and discuss it and talk about why you think it's right, but in a respectful manner. Again, don't be going after somebody and calling them names and stuff. Okay, let's see. I need to do a couple more of these. And I have to say, I was really impressed. when I was gone for the 3 months, there were probably about a dozen people that reach out to me, and I really appreciate it. I really do. Let me know that people care and all that stuff. So, oh, and I forgot to tell you. I meant to tell you this too. So my trips to Texas, a lot happened, and they were eventful. There was one trip where well, that thing I showed you, Shiprock. Okay, I was over in that area. It was midnight. It was the night of the election, and I was driving along, and on Highway 64, it's a freeway at that point, and in the middle of the road was a drunken dude walking, and he was wearing dark clothing, and so I did not see him. I did not see him to the last possible second, and in my mind, I only had two choices: swerve or hit the guy. Of course, I don't want to hit the guy because I don't want that on my conscience, but on the same hand, when you're going 65, 70 miles an hour with a trailer that is fully loaded down, that's not a good idea, and it's dangerous, and I could possibly get killed. In fact, what went through my mind was some videos I've seen on YouTube where someone's driving a trailer and the trailer flips and the truck always goes with it for some reason. They don't disengage. They actually stay on there, and then, yeah, you end up getting hurt too. So anyway, I was going 70 miles an hour approximately, and out of nowhere, I see this person walking in the road, and I had a choice: swerve or hit him. I swerved, and my truck went all over the place. In fact, in my rearview mirror, even though it was dark, the trailer has lights on it. It's very well lit. And I saw the trailer. I have tandem axles, so that means there's two wheels on each side. I actually saw the trailer get on two wheels and scared the you-know-what out of me. And I was so lucky that the road for a while had no curves in it. It was completely straight, because had there been a curve and I had to try to make a curve while my trailer was shaking around violently, I probably would have lost the trailer and the truck. But thank goodness the road was straight for a long time, and it took a while, but eventually the trailer quit swaying back and forth, and it did stabilize. And when it stabilized, I'm going to be honest with you, my knuckles were white. I was so scared. That was an awful experience. And, it wasn't much of a choice. I mean, it was hit a person or possibly lose my life. So he loses his life, or I possibly lose mine. And anyway, I called 911 afterwards, let them know what was going on. And they said they would definitely come out and take a look. And I didn't stick around. I left. So I have no idea whether they were able to get the guy off the road, but I was really hoping that they were able to get him off the road, because he just the way he was walking, even though I saw him for a split second, I think he was drunk. I really do. Oh, okay. Sorry. I'm looking at this here, trying to. So I basically hope they were able to get him off the road before they had to scrape him off the road. Let's put it that way. And that same trip, I came home through Wyoming. I usually come home through Colorado, Utah, but I came home through Wyoming and then Utah that time. And the reason why is they had some winter storms, and the winter storms were severe enough that it was hard to get through. In fact, I was on 25, Interstate 25, and at one point the road was closed. And while it was closed, I just had to wait at a rest stop until they reopened it. And I took a nap, and when I woke up, there was only two semis in the parking lot when it was full. So anyway, I came home that way, and I went through Echo Canyon in Utah. And I swear to you, oh my gosh, that was the trip. That was just a trip altogether. I go to this rest stop in Echo Canyon, which is Highway 84 in Utah next to Devil's Slide I was telling you about. Anyway, I have to park with the semi, so I have a trailer. I get out of my truck, go around it to go to the bathrooms. And when I did that, I swear I saw a fully grown man, completely naked, run from the rest stop bathroom into his car. And he drove off like a bat out of hell. I did get a picture of his car. I did get his first 3 letters of his license plates. I called the Utah State Highway Patrol, and the dispatcher was trying to remain professional, but she was also trying not to laugh, which, I mean, it is quite the sight. I mean, you know, stop too often, you go to a rest stop, and the naked guy goes running out. It's kind of a little weird. So that happened. She did ask if they can call me back if they catch him, and, well, I never heard back from her, so I don't think they did. But that's definitely not a sight you see every day, and not a sight I ever want to see again, to be honest. A little weird. Okay, so what we have here. So earlier when I started this, I told you guys about my weight loss goal. How do I plan on accomplishing that? Well, I do get a good number of steps in every day, usually 10 to 12,000, sometimes more. So I don't think activity is a problem. I think it's what I'm eating is a problem. So when I went grocery shopping on the way home from my trip, I went to the last Walmart I could possibly go to before, getting to my area. Anyway, what I did was I bought baby carrots for snacks, bananas, some avocados. All my meals are single ingredients, which means there are, like baked potatoes, but I'm not going to be doing sour cream with them. Yes, my diet's going to be kind of plain for a while, but I've done this before when Jenny was in Iraq in 2008, and I was able to lose 60 pounds in a year. The only problem is I've gained all of that back, but that was 2008, over 10 years ago. So I'm really hoping that I can have a repeat of what I've done in the past. This is so weird. I have never... Okay, so this looks like, I thought it was something else, but it's actually a transformer. Okay, so let's... Hey, John, sorry for running out the door. I love train. Hey, Carla, how you doing? It's good to see you. Thanks for joining, even if it's just for a few minutes. I appreciate everything. Please drop a like, though, if you would. And let's see. So there are a few. Well, yeah, I didn't speak too soon at all. They gave me a couple extra of these chains. That's always nice. All right, guys, this is bags 1, 2, and 3. And there we go. And we got this gal here. We had a guy on here too. There we go. We put him on here. So we've got the logging section, and then we got the caboose, and then we got the long trestle bridge. So that's what we're going to do. So guys, we're running a little bit over an hour. And like I said, this is my first stream in like 3 months. So a little rusty, and I'm going to go ahead and get off here so I can actually go take a nap, to be honest with you, because after driving to Texas and back 1,400 miles one way, so 2,800 miles a trip 6 times in the last 8 weeks, I am exhausted as ever, and I am behind on just about everything you can think of in this house. So I appreciate you spending time with me, though. I do appreciate that, always do. So what I'm going to do is get going, and we'll plan on this another stream tomorrow. We'll start with bag number 4, and we'll just keep going until we're done. Not tomorrow, I mean, but you know what I mean. So, all right. You guys have a good one, and hit that like button, subscribe, and we'll catch you guys later.